So now we're going to start with the analysis. But before we do the regression analysis, we need to start with the basics. We need to start with descriptive statistics. So for descriptive statistics, I need to go to SPSS again. You go to analyze, and then you go to descriptive statistics, descriptive. And you need to input the data that you want to analyze. So here, another personal thing. I like to start with the variables that are interesting. So I always start with a dependent variable. I start with happiness, then motivation, which is an independent variable, and then the controls. I know that I will use balance as a control, and then the fixed controls. So I do it like that. And then here, if you go to options, you can actually ask what you want to get. But I will just go with the standard and I will click OK. And then I have this table. But I don't know if I can copy in Word, because that's basically what you will have to do, copy in Word. Maybe that looks very ugly. And have this, what's going on here? So strange. Now it works. So I don't know what was that. So maybe if I put it here, descriptive statistics. So here is my table of descriptive statistics. And the next step is to analyze. So it was very easy, right, to calculate the descriptive statistics. And now the next challenge is to analyze this. You can make it small. Okay. So to do the analysis, and also if you remember quantitative lecture 2, it is basically to discuss interesting things. So what about happiness? And it's kind of repetition from the lecture. We see that the minimum is 2. So it's interesting that there is not anyone with 1. So you can start with that interesting outcome. An interesting outcome from this descriptive statistics is that the minimum level of happiness is 2. So another interesting aspect is that blah, blah, blah. So you write like interesting things like in one paragraph. And that's basically the analysis of the descriptive statistics. So you do that with descriptive statistics. Then the other interesting thing that we need to do is to calculate the correlation matrix, and we analyze the correlation matrix. So you go to SPSS, you go to analyze, correlate, and bivariate in here. And in here, we do the same. We start with happiness, motivation, balance, because I like to start with the interesting. And then you click OK with Pearson. And we got this. So again, I will copy paste in here, paste as image. And now how do I fix that? This thing here. Like this. I will make it smaller. So, and now I need to analyze, right? Because I already calculated. So now let's analyze this correlation matrix. So remember that when you analyze the correlation matrix, you need to find, again, interesting correlations. So maybe you start with happiness and you compare the correlation of happiness with motivation. It's quite high, it's significant. You have the stars, motivation and balance. They are positive and they are significant. So you can write in here, an interesting blah, 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 is this. So besides happiness, you can also think about motivation. So motivation correlates with joint shopping. So what interesting thing. It seems that if you are from joint shopping, you are more motivated. So it seems they're motivated coming to joint shopping. Maybe not well, it doesn't seem that they are correlated, happiness and university, but motivation, yes. Balance and motivation are correlated. That's a bit risky, because we don't want, we will test for multicollinearity later, but that seems a bit, can be a bit worry because it seems motivation and balance are a bit correlated, but let's move on. Balance, nothing. Current student and female, but that doesn't mean anything, no. Female, no, nothing interesting. Age, nothing. Year. Well, there are not many interesting. University and level. Well, it's okay. It's a bit sad, but maybe you can also report on that. Like it seems that, for example, university, if it's from or current university only relates to female. It's interesting. Like women are in our sample, more women are currently. No, it's male because it's negative. So if you're female, there is less chances that you are currently a student. So this is kind of, again, correlations are not the most important thing to do, but at least you can discuss these two in here. The motivation with university is a bit interesting. The motivation with balance is also a bit interesting. And you can also highlight another things in there. So you have at least 4 or 5 things that you can discuss in your paragraph about correlation. And I think we can stop in here. We can finish before we move to the regression. We can stop in here because regression, it can take a bit more time. So let's stop, and then the next one, we start with the models that we will have.